Hey guys, this is Alexa Kebalo Hughes here, and I'm here with Cristina Rosu, and she is actually a fellow 30 under 30 alumni with me. And I cannot wait to get into this episode, you guys, of Next Level Lifestyles, where we feature various locations, realtors, and lifestyles worldwide. Welcome, Cristina.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. So before we get into it, I want to share a little bit about you. So Cristina is a people person with a strong desire to help others realize the dream of home ownership. She became a real estate broker in 2012 after graduating from the University of Southern California with a BA in sociology. She was voted one of Charlotte's rising stars by her peers and colleagues, featured in the Charlotte Observer, and also featured in the Rising Star feature of the Charlotte Real Producers magazine. She successfully negotiated over 250 real estate sales and purchases throughout North Carolina and South Carolina, and most recently Virginia. Cannot wait to get into this. Known for her problem-solving skills and strategic thinking, she strives to provide outstanding service to her clients and their families, and was named a 30 under 30 recipient by the National Association of Realtors in 2019. She also owns a staging company, Anchor Stage & Co., and is able to use her expertise in furniture and accessory staging to make your home look complete prior to listing on the market. She's realized that not everyone is looking to purchase their home, so is always able and willing to assist her clients in their search for rental properties, purchases, etc., whatever you guys are looking to do. So with that, I'm so excited to say we have with here Cristina. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have this conversation with you. So I think we should bring it back a second. So let's talk about where we met.
So we met in, was it Charleston?
I did not go to Charleston. I was there in spirit though.
Okay. So we met in Fort Worth.
Yes, we met in Fort Worth, Texas.
At our 30 under 30 annual convention. Love that. It's one of my favorite events. Just so cool to meet everybody from across the United States and kind of see what they're doing and what we can bring to our own businesses. So it was fun meeting you, and I enjoyed talking with you, and I'm so happy that you're doing a podcast, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Well, so let's get into, so you said you've been in the business for 10 years. So how did you get into the business? Like kind of share a little bit more about your story, where you grew up, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii. I lived there for the largest amount of time. I was actually born in England. So I moved a bunch when I was younger, but I grew up there. And then I went to the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, worked for a really good company out there, and had a mental breakdown one day when I was stuck in traffic for 2 hours to go about 5 miles. And I just called my mom and I said, this isn't gonna work. I can't live here. She said, just quit, move to Charlotte, start a new life and see what happens. So I did. Quit in about a month, and I moved to Charlotte not knowing anybody. And then a family friend that we knew said, hey, you want to make as much money as you want to, you want to travel as much as you want to work whenever you want to, you should get into real estate. I'm like, that sounds great. So here I am.
You're kidding me. So we have to backtrack because this is like unbelievable. Born in England, grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii, went to school in LA, and then Charlotte. So like, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. So I have dual citizenship. So I'm also a legal citizen of the United Kingdom. So I could move or work there without a visa. It's pretty cool. But my parents were working overseas and had me. And so there I was in England, and then they moved back to the United States when I was about 3 years old.
So now, do you remember, like, so you grew up in Honolulu, so you don't remember England much, do you?
No, I don't remember anything of England, yeah.
But Honolulu, like, what is that like?
Yeah, it's, I loved it, and meeting another 30 under 30 who lives there and talking to her about it. It was, I miss it a lot. I miss waking up and going to the beach. But Charlotte's fun. I'm on a lake now, so it's kind of the same thing. I just don't have waves or surfing, and the weather's a lot nicer in Hawaii. But it's a lot more expensive, so you gotta pick your battles.
It's incredible. So now is that why your mother's in Charlotte now?
Yep, so my mom and dad live about 5 minutes away from me, right across the cove, so they're super close. So I see them about every day almost.
Amazing. So I've actually never been to Charlotte. I believe I've been there for a bunch of layovers.
Yeah.
Because you guys have a pretty big airport. But what's it like, for someone that's never been there? Can you kind of paint a picture of what the Charlotte lifestyle is like?
Sure. So there's a few different parts. So you have the main uptown area, which is it's called the 277 Loop, and that's kind of where we have all of our bars and our high rises and the Panthers Stadium, and that's the actual city. And then you start into the suburbs outside of Charlotte. You can go south, obviously, and we're about 30 minutes away from South Carolina. So that's why I'm licensed in South Carolina, because it's so close. And then you can go north, which is Lake Norman. There's a bunch of towns and different areas on actually Lake Norman. And if you just keep about 2 hours north, you're in Virginia. So that's also why I got licensed in Virginia. But I love Charlotte. It's a younger community. It's actually grown to be more younger. When I first came here in 2012, the average age was around, I think it was like 35, and now it's a lot lower. So it's around like 27, 28.
Really? So are you seeing like an influx? Like, is that the trend? Like, what are you seeing? Like an influx of the younger demographic? Like, how's that kind of?
So we're a major banking city. I believe, I don't know if we are still, but we were the second largest behind New York for like Wells Fargo, Bank of America. So we did have a lot of younger bankers coming out of college. And so we do have a lot of first-time home buyers. However, recently, first-time home buying is becoming a lot harder in every city almost.
And so like, if you could speak to a little bit about like, how far can your money get you in, like, let's say the Charlotte area, or like where you are, like, you know, what does your money get you?
Yeah. So depending on your budget, of course, if you say your budget's $300,000, you can get a nice townhouse in Uptown. They're pushing around $500,000 now. Condos used to be 200, they're around 400 now. Yeah, if you go south to South Park, which is the fancier area, houses are in the $1 million, $3 million range. And then obviously if you come up north to Lake Norman, if you want to be on the water, you're looking at least $1.5 million right now for a nice waterfront home. So it's increased a lot in the past, I'd say probably last year and a half.
Because since obviously COVID and everything, people are just having location freedom. People are like, okay, there's no promise tomorrow. I need to live the life that I deserve or that I've always dreamt of now, you know?
Right.
So when you have someone that's considering a lifestyle change or a change to your location, are there certain like steps that you recommend for them when they're kind of like exploring? Like, are there certain resources that they should absolutely check out? Like, what can you maybe share as far as what you share with people?
I think I ask them up front, what are they looking for in Charlotte? Are you looking for the city vibe? Are you looking for the suburb vibe? Are you looking for the lake? Are you looking for the mountains? Because we have Asheville and Boone right around the corner. So that's about 2 hours away too. So if you're trying to be in the mountains and you don't care about the lake or you don't care about the city, then Asheville's a great place for you, just outside of Charlotte too. So it just depends on what you're looking to do. Are you looking for parks or beaches, or do you want to, I don't know, just kind of get their lifestyle and see how it can best fit into Charlotte. And then I kind of pinpoint different areas that I think they'd really enjoy. Then we go check them out, and half the time they hate they were looking originally, and they end up picking a new location after visiting somewhere else. So it's pretty cool. So we have all major sporting events. We don't have a major baseball team. We do have AAA. So we're close to that. We just had a new baseball stadium built right in the city. But we have Panthers, we have soccer's coming to us, and I think it might be here already. I haven't been to a game, but Major League Soccer. And then, I mean, we have everything. We have NASCAR. It's a huge NASCAR state. And yeah, I mean, if you like sports, if you like anything, we got it.
That's awesome. This is so great. And now I can't stop thinking about that moment you had in LA and how that was like, oh, here's my dog going nuts. That moment you had in LA in the traffic, like that. So that, it sounds like that was a catalyst, right? Like you're driving the car, you said 2 hours in traffic and you're like, I'm done.
Yeah, it was just miserable. I mean, it wasn't for me, unfortunately. Some people love LA, but it just wasn't my lifestyle. My parents were far away, and I'm really close to my parents. So I knew I had to be close to them, and Charlotte it was. And so I moved right into the middle of Uptown, bought a few properties, actually just sold one last week. I'm selling a few, I think next week actually too. So I'm cashing out on those and gonna wait for another area to invest in. But I should have bought more way back then, shouldn't we all have?
I know we all look back and it's like, darn it, if I only knew what I know now, considering like the Charlotte lifestyle, to reach out to Christina to kind of discuss not only their options there, but to have someone that's a guide that's able to connect them to the right lender and, the right team. I think it's so important. So that being said, Christina, where can everybody find you?
So I am primarily on Instagram and Facebook. I don't really use Twitter that much anymore. However, I just sometimes browse it. But my Instagram handle is Cristina with no H, Cristina agent. Same as on Facebook too.
Love it. Well, Cristina, this has been such a pleasure. It's been so nice hanging with you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, this is great. Well, I'll let you get on with your awesome day with all the pups there and, your family. Yeah. I know you'll be crushing it. Oh, goodness. Awesome. And for anyone listening, please do reach out to her again. I'm sure she'd be willing to give a complimentary consultation. You're considering, to make your next move.
Sure. I'd be happy to help however I can.
Cristina. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in for another episode of Next Level Lifestyles, where we feature various locations, realtors, and lifestyles worldwide.
Thank you.
Thank you.